You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Hun Sen wrote a letter of condolences to the family of former President Jiang Zemin and recalled the history of his visit to Cambodia, which has built up Cambodia-China relations to what it is today. In the condolence letter dated 5th December 2022, Prime Minister Hun Sen expressed his sadness after receiving the news of the death of Jiang Zemin. He stated that the death of the former Chinese president was a great loss, and he acknowledged that the Chinese statesman had devoted his entire life to improving the lives of the Chinese people and the prosperity of China. He wrote, "His Excellency Jiang Zemin was also a good friend of Cambodia. His Excellency's official visit to Cambodia in 2000 gave great importance to the promotion of Cambodia-China relations and cooperation." Former Chinese President Jiang Zemin, who was in office from 1993 to 2003, died on 30th November 2022 at the age of 96, according to Xinhua News, who reported that Jiang had died of leukemia and multiple sclerosis. You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. Monday morning marked the first day of the high school baccalaureate exams. Many students rushed to examination centers, either with their parents or on their own, and lined up outside around 7 a.m. just a half hour before the official bell rang to indicate the start of their first exams. EAC News reporter Dekanin has the story.
Inside each examination center, the situation was calm, while outside it was bustling with authorities lined up to maintain order and safety and facilitate traffic while the high school exam candidates arrived. Many of the students' parents and relatives waited outside for their children to come out after completing their exams. Some had even prepared food and drinks for their children, while others planned to take their children home for their meal before bringing them back to the examination center for their next round of exams. 55-year-old Moon Saram, the mother of an only child, expressed the excitement she felt when bringing her child to take the exam for the first time. Sitting in front of the Prasisavat High School, Moon Saram said she was willing to temporarily pause her job of selling num kroj, a Khmer dessert, for 2 days so that she can come and give her child encouragement in person. Speaking with another old man sitting outside the exam center on his motorbike since 6 a.m., 66-year-old Ki Cheng Ang said that he does not tire of waiting outside for his children to finish their exams. He said that his children are hardworking and also good students. He believes that the youngest of the 5 children who will take the exam will be able to get good marks at this year's baccalaureate exam. As for another parent, Dai Di, who also came to give encouragement to his children, he expressed happiness in being able to see his son finally take the exam after he had worked so hard to study until now. At 10:30 in the morning, when candidates exited the examination center, many students walked towards their parents with happy faces. Another young student, Sun Son Pachata, said she was happy with the hard work she had done and believes that she may receive an A grade. The Minister of Education, Youth and Sports, Hong Chunarong, noted that the candidates of this year's baccalaureate exam appear to be doing well, as this year's students had more time to study and prepare for the exam than students from the previous year. This year, the ministry also launched a full study break and 1-month postponement of the high school baccalaureate exams because Cambodia was busy preparing for the 40th and 41st ASEAN summits and related summits. The baccalaureate exam results will be announced on the afternoon of 27 December 2022 for candidates in Phnom Penh and Kandal. The ministry will announce the results for students from other provinces on the morning of the 28th of December 2022. Dekanin EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. The 14th International Conference on Software Knowledge, Information Management, and Applications was held at Camtech University from 2nd to 4th December 2022. Delegates from around the world attended in person or video called in for the three-day conference. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has the details.
This is the second time the international conference has been held in Cambodia and the first time at Camtech University in collaboration with other education institutions. The conference provided an opportunity for research experts and practitioners from higher education institutions, private companies, research and development institutions, NGOs and government agencies to come together to exchange experiences, knowledge and ideas, creativity for development and implementation goals. The SCIMA International Conference had three main objectives. 1. To promote practical solutions for development in response to Sustainable Development Goals. 2. To gather science and technology experts, researchers, management experts, knowledge executives, software engineers, information system managers all together. 3. And to provide a forum for sharing ideas, experiences and perspectives. Minister attached to the Prime Minister and Secretary of State of Ministry of Industry, Science and Technology and Innovation, Dr. Chemariti, emphasised the importance of the conference in providing unique opportunity for researchers and other individuals working in the fields of science and technology, software engineering, information systems to come together and share ideas, experiences and perspectives in order to formulate particular solutions for development in response to Sustainable Development Goals. Dr. Sing Heng Ho, the Director General at the General Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, also launched the 2030 Roadmap on Cambodia's Science, Technology, Innovation and Conference, which is built upon various nation policies and strategic plans. Over the 3 days, there were many guest speakers who gave keynote speeches and held workshops on the future of technology. The international guest speakers were from various education institutions across the world, including from the United Kingdom, Australia, France, China, Japan, Thailand, Malaysia, Hungary, Bangladesh, India, Indonesia, Korea, the Philippines, Poland, Sri Lanka, Tanzania and Nepal. Speaking with Professor Amager Hassan, the Vice President of Camtech University, he explained that it is important for the public and private sector to work closely together on the development of science and technology, because if both sectors only engage in isolate work, they will not be able to generate as much impact as they would when collaborating with one another. He said anything we want to do, if we only do it within the university, within research labs, at the end this work will just disappear. But if we work with the industry and develop something useful for them, or if we work with the agriculture sector and develop something that can increase productivity, reduce the cost, enhance efficiency, that will help. That's why between universities, industries, government agencies and the private sector, collaboration is very important. The 3 days and workshops and events were very informative and successfully concluded on the 4th of December. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. On Tuesday, 29th November, the Ministry of Cults and Religions decided to hand over the task of managing and leading Pre Sihanouk Riet University to the Venerable Dr. Yong Seng Yit, who is currently the university's Vice Chancellor. EAC News reporter Dekanin has the story.
On Thursday afternoon, the Ministry of Cults and Religions organized a handover ceremony for the task of managing the Buddhist Pre Sihanouk Riet University to the Venerable Dr. Yon Seng Yit under the High Presidency of the First Vice President of the Supreme Sangha Council, Venerable Lam Heng, the Secretary of State of the Ministry of Cult and Religion, Seng Sok Muni, and with many monks and students in attendance. The Venerable Dr. Yon Seng Yit said that he is determined to lead Pre Sihanouk Riet University to forward progress. He encouraged the Ministry of Cults and Religions and officials of Pre Sihanouk Riet University to continue supporting the further development of this educational institution, as it is the only university with training expertise in Buddhist philosophy and Sanskrit ballet in Cambodia. During the handover ceremony, Secretary of State for the Ministry of Cults and Religion, Seng Sok Muni, clarified that the change in management of the Pre Sihanouk Riet University was not due to mistakes of the previous management. He said, "Do not misunderstand that the ministry or the Buddhist clergy revoked the previous management for wrongdoings. It is not true. This handover is to help the university further improve. The previous management, he does not have good health and is busy or has other duties to attend to." The Venerable Dr. Yonseng Yits is a Cambodian monk who has a bachelor degree, master degree, doctoral degree, and postdoctoral degree in various fields from many famous foreign universities. The Presidenut Riet University has a management team of 165 monks, civil servants, and contract officials. There are 107 people at the Phnom Penh branch, 25 at the Kampong Chnang branch, and 33 at the Battambang branch. At present, 1,993 students attend the university, of which 422 are monks, 511 are male students, and 1,061 are female students. Dekanin EAC News.
Tao lúc nẹ chit rịp api pipi miền tế. Hai bị bạ rộpក្រុមហ៊ុនថតវីដេអូផ្សាយផ្ទាល់ដែលមានគុណភាពមែនទេអស់កង្វល់រ៉ាទីកាជាក្រុមហ៊ុនទទួលស្គាល់លំដាប់អន្តរជាតិលើសេវាកម្មថតផ្សាយផ្ទាល់គ្រប់កម្មវិធីកម្រិត 4K ដំបូងបង្អស់នៅកម្ពុជារ៉ាទីកាប្រើប្រាស់ឧបករណ៍ទំនើបម៉ាកល្បីធានាគុណភាពការផលិតតាមបច្ចេកវិទ្យាទាន់សម័យរ៉ាទីកានឹងជួយធ្វើឲ្យកម្មវិធីលោកអ្នកកាន់តែមានភាពអស្ចារ្យលោកអ្នកនឹងបានឃើញរាល់សកម្មភាពក្នុងពិធីទៅលើកញ្ចក់ទូរទស្សន៍ទំហំធំកម្រិត 4K និងការបញ្ចាំងលើផ្ទាំងក្រណាត់សព្រមទាំង LED ដែលមានរូបភាពច្បាស់ត្រជាក់ភ្នែកសូមអញ្ជើញកក់ពីឥឡូវនេះតាមរយៈលេខទូរស័ព្ទ012 823 848 017 838 889និង016 823 848រ៉ាទីកាទំនុកចិត្តការទទួលខុសត្រូវនិងគុណភាពខ្ពស់
You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. The Minister of Education, Youth and Sports, Hang Chuan-Naron, remarked that this year's high school diploma candidates have had more time to study and prepare for the baccalaureate exam compared to the past few years because the ministry was able to fully open schools early this year. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more.
Minister Hang Chuan-Naron observed that this year's students have worked hard to learn at school, and he hopes that more students this year will pass the high school exams with good grades. He said, when students have more opportunities to learn and work hard, they can get better results. He pointed out that students had 1 month to prepare for the exams because they were postponed by the ministry to facilitate the organization of the 40th and 41st ASEAN Summits and related summits. Minister Hang Chuan-Naron added that the Ministry of Education strongly adheres to the principles of law, justice, transparency, and acceptable results. On the morning of the first day of the exams, there were 2,264 absent candidates, of which 1,004 were girls, 17 cited having health problems, including one who tested positive for COVID-19. There were a total of 128,135 candidates, of which 68,771 were girls. Spokesperson for the Ministry of Education, Rusovicha, confirmed that during the first morning of the exams, some candidates experienced minor health problems, such as dizziness, nausea, and vomiting. However, he said that these candidates were still able to take their exams normally after receiving first aid from the doctor's station at the examination centers. The spokesperson also confirmed to EAC News that the baccalaureate exam process on Monday morning went smoothly with good security and order, and with all candidates and stakeholders adhering to regulations as planned under close cooperation with relevant ministries and institutions. The spokesperson said on the morning of the first day, there were no significant irregularities. The baccalaureate exam results will be announced on the afternoon of the 27th of December 2022 for candidates in Phnom Penh and Kandal. The ministry will announce the result for students from the other provinces on the morning of the 28th of December 2022. Dekanin, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. The Ballet Steel Bridge in Rusekao Commune reopened at 5 p.m. on Sunday after completing renovation. The director of the Phnom Penh Department of Public Works and Transport, Sam Piset, confirmed to EAC News that the Steel Ballet Bridge would open for normal traffic on Sunday evening to reduce traffic congestion on the Choi Chang Va Bridge. The bridge's use was previously suspended since 20th November 2022 due to a sand dredger ferry crashing into it while crossing from the riverside where the Royal Palace is located. The sand dredger had initially passed the bridge and gone about 200 meters, but strong winds and an engine failure caused the ferry to turn and hit the bridge, causing 3 of its pillars to tilt. According to the director of the Department of Public Works and Transport of Phnom Penh, the ferry is being towed by experts. However, it is a slow process and cannot be pulled quickly. You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. The ASEAN Chair and Prime Minister of Cambodia announced the summit's successful conclusion and many significant accomplishments. Prime Minister Hun Sen officially handed over the ASEAN chairmanship to the President of the Republic of Indonesia for 2023. Prime Minister Hun Sen said that Cambodia's 1 year as ASEAN's chair was filled with many memories and has made history for the country. He emphasized that there were many challenges, both regional and global, that seriously affected security, the economy, and society. However, he affirmed that ASEAN has satisfactorily coordinated and addressed those challenges. He said, "I am pleased that the 40th and 41st ASEAN summits and related summits have been successfully concluded, and I would like to thank ASEAN member states and international partners for their full collaboration, support, and consideration, which brought forth many accomplishments to be proud of." From 10th to 13th November 2022, 16 summits were concluded. This was a challenging task, especially at a time when the world is dealing with complex regional and international issues that are changing rapidly. Nevertheless, ASEAN was able to hold thorough and fruitful discussions over the course of these 4 days about how to move forward and strengthen the bloc and the value of relations with external partners. ASEAN also adopted and acknowledged 70 documents and declarations that cover the 3 pillars of the ASEAN community, as well as a number of other frameworks on collaboration with dialogue partners. One highlight of the 40th and 41st ASEAN summits was that Ukraine signed onto the Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in Southeast Asia in order to maintain and deepen ties with ASEAN partners. 6 other countries, including Denmark, Greece, the Netherlands, Oman, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, signed the TAC at the 55th ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting and related meetings in August, bringing the membership total now up to 50. Furthermore, ASEAN issued a joint statement on the Declaration on the Conduct of Parties in the South China Sea to commemorate the 20th anniversary of the signing of the declaration in 2002. Regarding the recovery of the ASEAN community, the bloc adopted the Leadership Vision Statement ASEAN ACT Addressing Challenges Together, the ASEAN Leader Statement on the 55th anniversary of ASEAN, and the ASEAN Leader Statement on ASEAN Connectivity Post-2025 Agenda. In addition, following the second ASEAN Women's Summit on 12 October 2022, ASEAN adopted the joint statement on building a sustainable, environmental, and resilient future through inspiring ASEAN women entrepreneurship. At the same time, ASEAN was pleased to hold the second ASEAN Global Dialogue to exchange views on building a sustainable and inclusive ASEAN in the post-COVID-19 era. Prime Minister Hun Sen emphasized that ASEAN is the main driving force for communication and collaboration with external partners via ASEAN-led mechanisms. He said, "No matter what the situation, we must maintain ASEAN unity for the maximum benefit of the whole region. Promoting unity and solidarity will remain our top priority for years to come." He further added, "Regardless of the circumstances, we must maintain ASEAN unity for the benefit of the entire region. Our main objective will continue to be encouraging solidarity and unity." The ASEAN chairmanship was officially handed over to the President of the Republic of Indonesia, Joko Widodo, on Sunday, symbolized by the handing over of the official ASEAN chairmanship gavel. It will be Indonesia's 4th time assuming the chairmanship. Indonesia was also the first country to ever host the ASEAN summit in 1976. You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Hun Sen has confirmed that the watches made by Cambodia for the heads of delegation attending the ASEAN summit are worth more than $20,000 each. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more.
Speaking at a press conference on the outcomes of the 40th and 41st ASEAN summits and related summits at the Peace Palace on Sunday, the 13th of November 2022, Prime Minister Hun Sen said that these watches were produced to show that Cambodians can do it. He said, "What it really means is that I want to reassure our partners that youngsters in Cambodia are capable of making watches as presents for the heads of delegations." The Prime Minister of Cambodia said that he will continue to wear this watch at the ASEAN Summit next year. As the ASEAN chair in 2022, Prime Minister Hun Sen produced 25 watches as gifts for the heads of delegations attending the 40th and 41st ASEAN Summits and related meetings. The Prime Minister stated that a unique feature of this watch is that only 25 units are available worldwide. He emphasized the conclusion of the 8th through the 13th of November 2022 ASEAN Summit and related summits and additional bilateral meetings as one that was successful and fruitful. Dekanin, EAC News.
You're watching EAC News. Thanks for joining us. Prime Minister Hun Sen, the 2022 ASEAN chair, has expressed appreciation for Canada's proposal to enhance ASEAN-Canada dialogue relations to the level of a comprehensive strategic partnership through negotiations on the ASEAN-Canada Free Trade Agreement. At a bilateral meeting on Saturday, Prime Minister Hun Sen said that enhancing ASEAN-Canada relations to the level of a comprehensive strategic partnership is a step in the right direction for promoting closer ASEAN-Canada relations. The ASEAN chair stressed that the recent opening of negotiations on the ASEAN-Canada Free Trade Agreement is a positive first step, which will promote economic recovery in both regions in a sustainable and resilient manner after the COVID-19 pandemic. The Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, said that he hopes this agreement will help create opportunities for further deepening cooperation in the digital economy and advanced technology between ASEAN and Canada. Prime Minister Hun Sen stated that for the past 45 years, ASEAN has been committed to a common aim of upholding peace, stability, and prosperity in both regions. He added that the long-term partnership between ASEAN and Canada has brought outstanding achievements in all fields and made significant contributions to addressing regional and global challenges, especially in improving the well-being and livelihoods of the people. ASEAN-Canada dialogue relations were established in February 1977 after the first official meeting between the Secretary of State of Canada for Foreign Affairs and the ASEAN Standing Committee. In 1981, the ASEAN-Canada Economic Relations Agreement was signed, laying the foundation for industrial trade and technical cooperation between the two sides. In 2020, trade between ASEAN and Canada amounted to $16.2 billion, and foreign direct investment from Canada into ASEAN was $5.1 billion.
By creating opportunity.
អ្នកគ្រូប៉ែតៃមាននឹកដល់ម៉ារនីដែលជាមិត្តភក្តិដែរទេនឹង
ចាខ្ញុំនឹកម៉ារនីណាហើយចុះបងស្រីប្រធានមានបានដំណឹងអីខ្លះពីម៉ារនីដែរទេ
បានដំណឹងតាប្រុសច្រើនតែកកោកនៅស្រុកក្រូចឆ្មាមិនយកទេតែជើកដីណាណៃនោះដល់ពេលអង្គការយកតែលុតដំជាង10ខែឆ្លងតលេរួចកូនក៏ស្លាប់ហើយឮថាម៉ារនីផ្ទាល់នោះក៏មានជំងឺជាទម្ងន់ទៀតមិនដឹងថាស្លាប់រួចក៏រស់យ៉ាងណានោះទេ
ម៉ារនីឈឺធ្ងន់ហើយកូនក៏ស្លាប់ទៀតហ៎ពុទ្ធម៉ារនីហេតុអីក៏វេទនាដល់ថ្នាក់ហ្នឹង
ញាក់ផ្អើលខ្លាំងណាស់ទៅឯងអ្នកគ្រូប៉ែតៃនេះហើយលទ្ធផលដែលម៉ារនីហ៊ានប្រកែកជាមួយនឹងខ្ញុំ
បងស្រីប្រធានខ្ញុំអត់នឹកស្មានសោះថាបងស្រីមានចិត្តអាក្រក់ដល់ថ្នាក់ហ្នឹងតាំងពីម៉ារនីប្រកែកមិនព្រមរៀបការជាមួយប្រុសនៅទីនេះរួមជាមួយនឹងប្អូនប្រុសរបស់បងស្រីមកបងស្រីប្រធានចង់គំនុំជាមួយនឹងម៉ារនីរហូតបើបងស្រីមិនបានជួយដល់ម៉ារនីទេមេតាកុំចង់កម្មចង់ពៀហើយដាក់បតាសាគ្នាអីព្រោះម៉ារនីមិនដែលធ្វើអាក្រក់អីដាក់បងស្រីប្រធានទេ
អ្នកគ្រូប៉ែតៃហេតុអីហ៊ានថាខ្ញុំចិត្តអាក្រក់អ្នកគ្រូប៉ែតៃមិនខ្លាចអង្គការយកតែរៀនសូត្រទេឬក៏យ៉ាងម៉េចបញ្ជាក់ខ្លួនឲ្យមែនទេណាអ្នកគ្រូប៉ែតៃ
ខ្ញុំមិនខ្លាចទេអាពាក្យលត់ដំអាពាក្យរៀនសូត្រអីនោះខ្ញុំបានលឺរាល់ថ្ងៃហើយខ្ញុំក៏បានលត់ដំហើយតើគិតតែបងស្រីវិញទៅប្រយ័ត្នប្រយែងតែខ្លួនឯងទៅអង្គការសម្រិតសម្រាំងដូចតែគ្នាទេប្រយ័ត្នណាបងស្រីប្រយ័ត្នប្អូនប្រុសរបស់បងស្រីឆ្លើយដាក់ព្រោះមុននេះប្រហែលជា1ម៉ោងសន្តិសុខរបស់ស្រុកគេបានចាប់ខ្លួនប្អូនប្រុសរបស់បងស្រីហើយខ្ញុំទ្រាំជាមួយនឹងបងស្រីយូរមកហើយលោកមេបញ្ជាការសម្រេចដែលជាប្តីរបស់ម៉ារនីបើទោះបីជាគាត់វេទនាក៏គាត់មិនស្លាប់ដែរតែប្អូនប្រុសរបស់បងស្រីមិនប្រកាសថារស់ទេពួកសន្តិសុខចាប់ចងស្លាប់សេកទៅក្រោយហើយយកកណាត់រុំមុខចិត្តលើកដាក់នៅលើរទេះសេះនេះបើសិនជាម៉ារនីជាប្រពន្ធរបស់ប្អូនប្រុសរបស់បងនាងខ្លាចទៅជាស្រីមេម៉ាយបាត់ហើយ
អ្នកគ្រូប៉ែតតែនិយាយថាម៉េចបងប្រុសខ្ញុំគឺយ៉ាងម៉េច
យ៉ាងម៉េចបងស្រីប្រធានចេះភ័យដែរក្រែងបងស្រីនិយាយថាសក់អ្នកណាក្បាលនៅនឹងនោះបងស្រីប្រធានមិនបាច់ចាំភ័យទេព្រោះបងស្រីប្រធានជាមនុស្សដាច់ខាតរបស់អង្គការស្រាប់ហើយពេលនេះពេលស៊ីពេលហើយខ្ញុំគិតថាមិនយូរទេព្រោះបងស្រីប្រធានក៏ជាអ្នកដឹកនាំរបស់អង្គការដែរ
អ្នកគ្រូប៉ែតៃកុំនិយាយខ្ញុំភ័យតែសូមជួយខ្ញុំផងបើសិនជាមានអង្គការថ្នាក់លើមកស៊ើបសួរសូមតែនិយាយល្អតែពីគុណសម្បត្តិខ្ញុំផងណា
បងស្រីប្រធានខ្ញុំមិនដែលនិយាយអាក្រក់ដាក់អ្នកណាទេមានតែបងស្រីប្រធានទេដែលនិយាយអាក្រក់ពីគេហើយធ្វើអាក្រក់ដាក់គេនោះខ្ញុំមិនត្រូវការអីពីបងស្រីទេបើទោះបីជាបងស្រីជេរស្ដីខ្ញុំឬក៏ចង់បន្ទោសខ្ញុំបន្ទោសតទៀតចុះប៉ុន្តែខ្ញុំសូមបងស្រីប្រធានកុំនិយាយអាក្រក់ពីម៉ារនីអីព្រោះម៉ារនីគេជាមនុស្សល្អខ្លាំងណាស់
អ្នកគ្រូប៉ែតៃខ្ញុំប្រហែលជាមានបាបដែលធ្វើអំពើមិនល្អដាក់អ្នកគ្រូប៉ែតម៉ារនីរឿងការចាប់ខ្លួនរបស់បងប្រុសខ្ញុំឬក៏ម៉ារនីប្រាប់ទៅប្តីរបស់គេឲ្យមកចាប់ព្រោះថាប្តីរបស់គេមានកម្លាំងទ័ពដល់រាប់ពាន់អ្នកនោះ
បងស្រីប្រធានកុំចេះតែស្មារតីផ្ដាស់ ប្តីរបស់ម៉ារនីជួយម៉ារនីមិនបានផងមានលទ្ធភាពឯណាទៅឲ្យគេមកចាប់ប្អូនប្រុសរបស់បងស្រីនោះបើសិនជាប្តីរបស់ម៉ារនីមានលទ្ធភាពនោះគាត់ប្រកាសជាជួយប្រជាជនទាំងអស់ហើយក៏មិនសម្លាប់មនុស្សដូចជាអង្គការដែរ
លោកគ្រូពេទ្យតីខ្ញុំសូមអង្វរជួយស៊ើបសួរដំណឹងបងប្រុសខ្ញុំផងបើបានដំណឹងអីពីគេជួយប្រាប់ខ្ញុំផងព្រោះខ្ញុំដូចជាខ្លាចណាស់មិនហ៊ានចាញ់ដើរទៅណានោះទេខ្ញុំនឹកស្មានសោះថាខ្ញុំខំស្មោះជាមួយនឹងអង្គការប៉ុន្តែទីបំផុតអង្គការបែរជាចាប់ប្អូនប្រុសរបស់ខ្ញុំទៅវិញចឹងសោះ
តែយ៉ាតែថ្ងៃនេះឯងដូចក្លាហានម៉េះហ៊ានប្រកែកជាមួយបងស្រីប្រធានពេទ្យផងណែគ្នាស្ដាប់លឺអស់ហើយតែគ្នាមកមិនតន់ដឹងថាឯងតែគ្នាពីរឿងអី
គឺនិយាយពីរឿងម៉ារនីឈឺធ្ងន់ហើយកូនក៏ស្លាប់ទៀត
ហ៎ម៉ារនីនឹងកូនស្លាប់ហើយម៉ារនីយ៉ាងម៉េចហើយឥឡូវហ្នឹង
ខ្ញុំក៏មិនដឹងដែរខ្ញុំអង្គុយសុកបងស្រីប្រធានក៏យករឿងមកនិយាយប្រាប់ហើយនិយាយអាក្រក់ពីម៉ារនីទៀតខ្ញុំទ្រាំមិនបានខ្ញុំក៏ប្រហើបរឿងប្អូនប្រុសរបស់គាត់ត្រូវអង្គការចាប់ខ្លួនតែម្ដងទៅគាត់ក៏ភ័យហើយមកសុំអង្វរខ្ញុំទៅវិញ
តែយ៉ាយើងធ្វើតែល្អជាមួយបងស្រីប្រធានពេទ្យទៅពិតមែនតែគាត់ធ្វើបាបពួកយើងធ្វើបាបម៉ារនីតែពួកយើងមិនត្រូវសងសឹកជាមួយគាត់ទេបើគាត់ធ្វើខុសហើយយើងកុំទៅធ្វើខុសតាមគាត់ពួកយើងសំតែកុសលទៅជិះជាងទៅសំរឿងជាមួយគាត់តែខ្ញុំដូចជាបារម្ភជាមួយម៉ារនីណាមិនដឹងថារឿងព័ត៌មានអ្នកគ្រូពេទ្យប្រធាននិយាយហ្នឹងពិតឬមិនពិតម៉ារនីកូនស្លាប់ដូចជាមិនទំនងសោះណែតៃខ្ញុំមានរឿងអបិយជំនឿមួយជីតារបស់ខ្ញុំបានធ្លាប់និយាយប្រាប់ខ្ញុំថាឪពុកនិងកូនមិនត្រូវកើតឆ្នាំដូចគ្នាទេជាពិសេសគឺកូនប្រុសតែម្ដងបើឪពុករាសីខ្ពស់ជាងនោះកូននឹងលំបាកហើយតែបើកូនរាសីខ្ពស់ជាងឪពុកក៏លំបាកដែរហើយបើសិនជាឈឺវិញគេនឹងបំបែកគ្នាព្រោះវាឆុងឆ្នាំរីឯឆ្នាំនេះគឺជាឆ្នាំរោងខ្ញុំចង់ប្រាប់ម៉ារនីពេលដែលម៉ារនីចេញទៅរៀបការនោះតែខ្ញុំមិនហ៊ាននិយាយ
សូមកុំអោយអ្វីដែលបងស្រីប្រធាននិយាយខ្លាចជាការពិតទៅចាស់
សាធុ
ម៉ារនីហេតុអីក៏អាភ័ព្វម្លេះចេញពីផ្ទះទៅតាំងពីក្មេងទៅរៀបការខ្លួនមួយឃ្លាតទៅឆ្ងាយហើយសែនឆ្ងាយដូចក្មេងកព្រាអញ្ចឹង
ឥឡូវនេះយើងបានសម្រេចវាយរំដោះយកបន្ទាយរកាធំនិងបន្ទាយព្រៃតុយរួចទៅហើយយើងនឹងឈានឆ្ពោះទៅវាយកបន្ទាយទន្លេបាត់និងបន្ទាយទាំងអស់នៅតាមខាងកើតទន្លេមេគង្គដើម្បីធ្វើការគៀបសង្កត់វាយចូលទីក្រុងកំពង់ចាមគប់សំនឹងភូមិភាគ304ដែលនឹងត្រូវវាយខាងផ្នែកផ្លូវគោកសម្រាប់យើងខាងបពាតទិសត្រូវវាយតាមផ្លូវទឹកដើម្បីគៀបសង្កត់ចូលក្រុងកំពង់ចាមតែម្ដងប៉ុន្តែបញ្ហាវាស្ថិតនៅត្រង់ថាយើងនៅបន្ទាយ2ដែលមិនទាន់ទៅដល់បន្ទាយទន្លេបាត់ទី1គឺផ្នែកខាងជើងគឺមានបន្ទាយប៉មឯម្ខាងទៀតគឺនៅខាងត្បូងគឺមានបន្ទាយឡទឹកត្រីដូច្នេះចាំបាច់ត្រូវតែវាយកបន្ទាយទាំងពីរនេះសិន
ពិតមែនហើយ
បើយើងមិនអាចវាយយកបន្ទាយប៉មបានទេយើងក៏មិនអាចចូលទៅវាយបន្ទាយទលេបិទបានដែរហើយបើយើងចូលវាយបន្ទាយទលេបិទច្បាស់ណាស់បន្ទាយប៉មនឹងវាយយើងពីក្រោយខ្នងជាក់ជាមិនខានឥឡូវនេះដោយសារតែប្អូនមានបញ្ជាការសម្រេចបានហុំព័ទ្ធនៅចំពីមុខបន្ទាយប៉មស្រាប់ដូច្នេះសូមប្អូនមានបញ្ជាការសម្រេចធ្វើការរៀបរាប់អំពីបញ្ហានៅសមុទ្រភូមិនេះ
ជប់សិនបន្ទាយប៉មមិនមែនជាបន្ទាយធំហួសហេតុពេកទេក៏ប៉ុន្តែកម្លាំងក៏មានច្រើនគួរសមដែរដូច្នេះត្រូវរៀបចំវាបន្ទាយប៉មនេះដោយឡើងពីទឹកមកវាជាមុខព្រួញសំខាន់ឯមុខព្រួញពីខាងលើត្រូវប្រើប្រាស់ជាមុខព្រួញបន្ទាប់បន្សំដូច្នេះហើយត្រូវរៀបចំផែនការវារបៀបការរីកដែលវាចេញពីទឹកចូលមកបន្ទាយគប់សំនឹងថ្មើរជើងនៅខាងលើ
គឺមិនអាចដូច្នោះបានទេសមមិត្តព្រោះថាផែនទីដែលគូនៅឆ្នាំ1951នេះប្រៀបធៀបទៅនឹងដីជាក់ស្ដែងគឺវាមានភាពខុសគ្នាផែនទីដែលគូនៅឆ្នាំ1951នេះយើងពិនិត្យឃើញថាផ្លូវទៅមាត់ទន្លេមានប្រមាណ270ម៉ែត្រឯណោះប៉ុន្តែឥឡូវនេះដីជាក់ស្ដែងគឺវាបាក់អស់វានៅសល់ដីរង្វង់ពី70ម៉ែត្រទៅ100ម៉ែត្រប៉ុណ្ណោះឯងបន្ថែមពីលើនេះទៅទៀតនោះគឺកងម៉ារីនគឺបានមកចតនៅមុខបន្ទាយប៉មនេះតែម្ដងយើងគ្មានលទ្ធភាពដើម្បីហែលទឹកឡើងវាយពីមាត់ទន្លេចូលមកក្នុងបន្ទាយបានទេ
បើដូច្នេះសម្រាប់ឯងចង់រៀបផែនការវិញយ៉ាងម៉េចណា
ឥឡូវយកកងវីរៈសេនាតូចលេខ55របស់ខ្ញុំទាំងមូលដើម្បីໄວទៅហើយបែងចែកជា3មុខព្រួញដែលមុខព្រួញទី1គឺជាមុខព្រួញដែលសំខាន់ដែលវាយពីទិសខាងជើងទៅទិសខាងត្បូងហើយមុខព្រួញមួយនេះត្រូវប្រើកម្លាំងកងអនុសេនាធំលេខ62ដែលវាយចូលពីខាងជើងទៅខាងត្បូងជាមុខព្រួញដែលសំខាន់មុខព្រួញបន្ទាប់បន្សំគឺមុខព្រួញលេខ61ដែលវាយចេញពីព្រៃរិស័យទៅមាត់ទន្លេពីទិសខាងកើតមកទិសខាងលិចនេះជាមុខព្រួយបន្ទាប់បន្សំកងអនុសេនាធំលេខ61ចំណែកកងអនុសេនាធំមួយទៀតគឺត្រូវវាជាមុខព្រួយគ្រប់ត្រ